I'm 24 years old, but until this date, I had never realized that I was moving around, taking an entire universe inside me. My eyes, nose, ears, the feeling of heat or pain, thirst or hunger, and the balance of the entire body was making me realize that I was part of that very universe called the human brain. Fellow Toastmasters and welcomed guests, consider for a moment how vivid can our memory be and how the objects from all around the world can fit onto our small brain. It is because, according to Nova Neuroscience, our brain consists of 1 billion or 100 crore neurons, which forms 1,000 more connections with other neurons. That totals to more than 1 trillion or 1 lakh crore connections. You cannot compare your brain with that of a computer. I'm saying this because as per the comparative experiment conducted by the expert tech, while comparing the human brain with that of the computer memory, it was discovered that unlike the classical computer, which uses the codes as zeros and ones, our brain uses 26 different codes to store its bits. Not only that, but when Japan's Okinawa Institute of Technology and Germany's Forschungszentrum carried out the simulation experiment, they came out with a very astounding result, which said that it took almost 40 minutes of time with an effort of 82,944 different processors just to process 1 second of human brain processing activity. Right now, you might be thinking that just like the computer, your brain might run out of memory and it might have to restart itself once again. Do think one more time. Dr. Mike Clark of Shake's Fitness suggests that our brain is responsible for consuming 20% of the total calories burned per day. If I have to keep that into perspective, then if the total calories burned by my body was 2,000, then approximately 400 would come from my own brain. Just a couple of days ago, my brain sent me a signal that it wanted to know something more about itself. That's why I went to some of my family members and I asked them a very simple question. Which name would pop up in their head if I asked them to remember a man with a superior brain capability? That's when they unanimously took the name of Albert Einstein. That's when it occurred to me, why was Einstein's brain so different than ours? A team of anthropologists, Dean Falk, and neurologist Frederick Laporte from Florida State University analyzed the 14 different photographs of Einstein's brain from Thomas Hardy's collection after his death in the year 1959. From the study, Falk acquainted us and said that both nature and nurture was equally important for Einstein. Now, it was only in the year 1999 when Sandra Wilson, a researcher from McMaster University, revealed that the one part of Einstein's brain, called the parietal lobe, was 15% larger than any other normal human being. That parietal lobe, which was used for making 3D rotation, visual and space imaging, and for boiling down complex mathematical computations. A unique parietal lobe might have led Einstein to think about a series of thought experiments where he could see a beam of light flashing above a man's head or the entire planet revolving around the sun just by lying down on a couch. This very concept of parietal lobe, with this concept, I intrigued into a book by MacDonald Cretchley titled The Parietal Lobe, in which I found out that a lot of math-gifted types tend to use the part of their parietal lobe 5 to 6 times more than the average human being. So now you know that not every genius in the world are born with a unique brain like Einstein, but they tend to use it more often. While finding out the quest for the mind behind a genius, I came across an article Musical Training Shapes the Structural Brain Development, in which it was mentioned that the musicians and people who take string instruments in the early stage of their lives, they tend to reform their brain themselves. For example, Toastmaster Viren and Toastmaster Pritesh, who are the avid guitar players of our club, might have already formed a knob-like structure like that of Einstein, because Einstein himself was a great violin player. Now, coming so close to the closing, I know that your brain might be having so many questions unanswered, like, does coming to Toastmasters increase your brain speed? Or does the consumption of marijuana make your brain strong? Believe me, even I cannot answer both of your queries. But I can definitely answer one query that you might have had since a very long time. Do we use only 10% of our brain and the rest 90% stays idle all the time? Brain Game, aired by National Geographic Channel, debunks this 10% myth and confirms that 2/3 of the public and half of the science teachers, they believe in this 10% myth. So they tell you not to believe in such myths. Instead, today, before I leave this stage, I would want to give you 3 advice that I personally follow according to the American Science Journal, that loving animals, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and trying new things in life, such as learning new language or learning different new actions, such as juggling, will definitely make your brain strong. Madam